Welcome back, everybody. In this video we're gonna touch base on dimensions, and as always you can take this as an educational information or entertainment value. But before we begin on the dimensions, and there are different levels of dimensions, and in this one we're gonna pretty much cover 12 of them quickly. There's so much to elaborate on. I'm just going to go off my keynotes on what each dimension entails. But before we do on the dimensions, you guys have to understand that in each level of dimensions, there are other entities that resides there besides us humans. And some keywords you guys have to also understand: materialism and idealism. Materialism is matter over mind. Idealism is mind over matter. What does that really mean? What it means is materialism is where we exist in the physical universe before any thought. Idealism, we don't exist in the physical world until thought. So thought and mind came before the physical universe. That's why we exist. Materialism is the material world exists before we even have consciousness or thought. That is the rough explanation of those two words. Also, you need to know that there are two types of time: physical time and psychological time. There's the aura. Your aura is the electromagnetic field surrounding a person or object, and the astral planes or the astral realm. That is a sub-dimension of the fourth dimension. We're gonna start in the first dimension. Like I said, there's a lot of things to cover, so I can't really elaborate on a lot of these things. You guys would just have to try to absorb these things, but they all have meaning. First dimension. In order to exist, an object have to have a location in time and space, so like a point in time. Second dimension, it is the total sum of all paths between two or more locations in time and space. Third dimensions, you guys all know this is where us humans live. It is the physical universe. Fourth dimension is considered to be thought and time, and those are the two main characteristics of the fourth dimension. And also, it is a bridge between the world of the spirit and the world of matter. Fifth dimension is an invisible realm beyond the astral and mental levels. This is where all the energy of the auric fields of every entity and object exists. Moving on to my notes on the sixth dimension. It is the collective creation of individual souls, where highly evolved souls go between incarnation to review their evolutionary progress. They can decide anywhere in their timeline to incarnate next, which depends on what lessons yet they haven't learned back in space and time. Elaborate more on the sixth dimension here, guys. Pretty much, when you get to this level, this is where you decide. This is where, after you pretty much pass on, you're gonna come to this understanding, and you're gonna be confronted by spirit guides or heavenly angels, whatever floats your boat. But you're gonna determine if you need to come back and relive certain things, or relearn or redo certain things that you don't you feel like your karmic essence you need to fix. So keep that in mind. This dimension is where you decide whether you go on to the next level or you decide, and it will be your choice if you want to come back and reincarnate. Let's move on. Seventh dimension. This is where your soul truly lives, the residence of your soul. Also, the highest level of individuality, and it is also what people call your higher self. It is the beginning of the true heavenly realms. And when I say it's the true heavenly realms, keep in mind that each each existence, or like each level of existence, like in your dimension and your awareness, for instance, in the third dimension, well, you in the third dimension, as human beings, you can make your life heaven. And that's what I mean. You know, you can make you be content and make your existence truly heavenly. But but the real heaven begins in the seventh dimension. So that's what I mean when I say truly true heaven. Moving on to the eighth dimension. This is where all the archangels dwell. Well, just like in scriptures, when scripture talks about the archangels, not the angels, but I'm talking about the archangels, the original archangels. And in the scripture, this is where they reside around God's throne, basically. But that's another topic. Also, this eighth dimension is a cluster of individual souls merged into one complete group of souls. In this oneness of individual souls, they offer guidance on how to and where to incarnate. Even though the family of souls is in one spirit, individual souls come and go as incarnation takes place, returning again and again, always. It's like kind of like um, holiday times here on Earth. And if you guys did not know the difference between incarnation and reincarnation, pretty much, um, it, to me, they're pretty much interchangeable. But incarnate incarnation is when you start to exist, right? That's incarnation. And reincarnation is you already existed, then you come back and you reincarnate. But you have to understand, um, the more awareness you have, there really is no such thing as reincarnation. But that doesn't really mean that you don't incarnate again. That might sound confusing, but pretty much, even though even though incarnate means that you never existed before and you just incarnate here on Earth, well, through the whole process of these dimensions, when you reincarnate, you're not really reincarnating, you're actually incarnating again, if that makes any sense. But that is just what I believe. Moving on to the ninth dimension on my notes here. The ninth dimension is where the true enlightened masters dwell. It is considered the higher celestial heavens, and words become more meaningless. Also, this is a place when scripture refers to heaven. 10th dimension. 10th dimension is where eternal beings of light merge with the infinite creator. This is the realm of universal creations and birth. We'll just leave it there at that. It's too much to elaborate on there. The 11th dimension, when all has become one, there will be no one there to experience it. We have become that which we once experienced. This is where we become the universe. We'll leave that there also. Moving on to the 12th dimension. The 12th dimension is the stargate to other universes, which cannot ever be known by this universe because different laws and principles apply there. Words cannot comprehend beyond this point, so we will just end with the 12th level of dimensions. So that is a lot of things to digest, and I couldn't find any of these type of information on the internet, so I figure I give you guys some insights on each level of dimensions. And there you go, fellas, ladies and gents. I hope you guys learned something from that. And in future videos, I will try to elaborate more on things that I've talked in the past. But I'm just putting this information out there for you guys. For those who this information resonates with, this is for you. And for the others, if this information doesn't resonate with you, that's okay too. Just take it as information, because the more information you have, the more knowledge you entail, and thus will make your life a lot better. That being said, thanks for tuning in. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Hooded Dragons out.